Hey groupies, welcome back to Form of Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. And today we are checking out Beach Again by SSAK3, or in Korean, SSAK3. And in Korean, the title is actually not Beach Again, it's 다시 여기 바닷가. So Beach Again is the appropriate English translation, but in Korean it's 다시 여기 바닷가. It's, I would say, the nuance behind it feels more like we're back here at the beach. It's more like that. Now, this was actually a specific request from one of our patrons, but we're making this a culture study video because, well, there's a lot to explain here culturally. First of all, let me just read our patron's message. This is from Baozi Bang. They say, currently the most popular new group, but new K-pop fans just don't get why this group is such a huge deal. Please react to it and educate them. And yes, I avoided saying more to not spoil you. Well, I actually have seen their live stage thumbnail float around. I haven't seen it yet. I was going to reserve that for watching it on Patreon. But I have seen it float around, so I know who the SSAK3 are. It is Rain, Lee, and Yoo Jae-suk. So why are they such a big deal? Well, Yoo Jae-suk is the #1 MC in Korea. Rain, at one point, was the biggest male soloist in Korea, and Lee was at one point the biggest female soloist in Korea. And we can dive a little bit more into that, but let's do that after we actually check out the music video. And then, you know, if there's any more context to provide from the video, we can add that into our review. Now, before we get into this video, if you enjoy our videos, guys, check out our videos over at Patreon. At patreon.com/formatherapy. For as little as $2 a month, you get early access to videos like this, and for just a little bit more, you get live stage variety show, drama, reality show reactions. So yeah, let's check this out. Colors are wonderful. This cyan, yellow. Oh my god. Oh my god, why? Wow. No way. So the production for this song is actually very, very retro. There's a rain hat up top. But they're singing the way they used to sing in like the 90s and early 2000s. Holy crap, what the hell? Wow, Yoo Jae-suk vocals, underrated. July 1998. Oh my god, those sunglasses. Oh my god! Yoo Jae-suk doing the rapping! Are those Jinko jeans? Oh my god! You just so quiet! Oh my god! It just got randomly sexy at the end. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was incredible. Hold on. Okay, that was incredible. I think one of the most fascinating things about this is the production behind it is very much, I would say, it's very much all 90s, not inspired. Like we have a lot of retro songs, retro inspired songs, 90s inspired songs, but this isn't 90s inspired, guys. This song, like the actual production behind it, this is produced as a 90s song. Vocally, they sing this like a 90s song. So if you go back and listen to like old 90s K-pop music, the way they sing that, na, 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 it's very different from the way K-pop is now, where I feel like girls are a lot more bubbly, louder, and guys will like sing a little bit more from the chest. But back then, it was a little bit na, na, na. Now, so SSAK3, the group itself is actually an homage to K-pop in the 90s. Like trios were a very big thing in K-pop. Duos and trios were a very big thing in K-pop, and co-ed trios were a big deal as well. Seeing SSAK3 is reminiscent for me of like groups like Kobugi, which was 2 women and 1 man. Cool, which I believe was 2 guys and 1 girl. I'm literally forgetting. I literally had another one in the back of my mind. And I'm completely blanking on it. But I would say this one probably resembles Cool the most. Oh, Coyote. I was thinking of Coyote, which was 2 guys and a girl. But I would say they resemble Cool the most. Cool was a K-pop trio group. I believe they were a trio. I could be wrong. Hold on. Let me actually look this up so I'm not speaking out of my butt. But Cool had a song that was like na 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 바다로 떠나자 na 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 na. I believe that was Cool. Yeah, 2 guys and a girl. And so like having like a summer song, like these like wistful summer songs were also a big part of these trios. Now, for anyone who is new to K-pop, have no idea who these people are, or maybe you only know some of them, let me just give you a quick rundown and a breakdown of them, because these are legendary, iconic, perhaps the most famous people in Korea. The most famous people in Korea are a part of this music video. So I guess we could start with, all right, we're starting with Hyori. First of all, her outfit alone, the blue overalls, very 90s look. This entire wardrobe is very 90s inspired. So Iori used to be part of a girl group called Finkel. Let me just double check that, because I get Finkel and Baby Box mixed up all the time. Yes, yeah, she was in a group called Finkel, which was a girl group, and so she started out as an idol, and then she went solo. And when she went solo, she went sexy. Probably one of her most famous songs is "10 Minutes," just on 10 minutes. She became known as the queen of sex appeal. Became very famous, very known for her dancing. I think if I were to put it in context, she was like the Beyonce of Korea at that time. She came out of like in the sense that like she was the standout in the group. She came out of that group, and when she went solo, she exploded just like Beyonce. Hyori, however, like I said, did eventually kind of retire from music. Occasionally, she had a comeback once every now and then, but then she largely did more variety stuff. Then she got married, and when she got married, she kind of just like, I think she had like a show based on like her living situation. She lives on Jeju Island with her husband. They had like a show for that because she owns like a little motel type thing. But beyond that, she largely stepped away from the limelight. And I would say in the past recent months, she's been appearing more and more. And so I wonder if she's planning a comeback. Part of this look, the glasses are very much 90s glasses, obviously the hoop earrings as well. And then this was actually a very interesting touch. So the bangs, like gelling down the bangs like this, that's also a very 90s look. In fact, you'll see that a lot more now recently as well. A lot more Instagram models are doing that because, like I said, 90s retro is coming back in style. So, in fact, this look itself, I've seen Insta girls dressed like that. So next up, I guess, is Yoo Jae-suk. So, Yoo Jae-suk, if you only pay attention to K-pop music, you will have no idea who Yoo Jae-suk is. If you do watch some Korean variety stuff, you might have seen him. Yoo Jae-suk is like he has a plethora of shows. My favorite show from him is Running Man. Got his start most famously on a show called X-Men, and Running Man is like the spiritual sequel to that. And Yoo Jae-suk he is called the nation's MC. Yoo Jae-suk is primarily largely a host. He is an MC, and he is the most famous person in Korea, hands down. Out of any celebrity, out of any musician, actor, etc., Yoo Jae-suk, this is the most famous man in Korea. I realize I've been showing the video. This is the most famous man in Korea. You might be like, why? Who is this guy? Like, he looks so weird. Like, and yes, Yoo Jae-suk does, people do bag on him for his looks, even on TV shows. And Yoo Jae-suk himself very much talks about how ugly he is. And sometimes at the same time, he also refuses to acknowledge that he's ugly. It's like a whole thing. But I don't think he's ugly. I personally think he's really good looking in his own way. But he is the most famous person in Korea. Nation's MC. He is really, really good host, perhaps the best host I've ever seen. And I see American stuff as well. I mean, he's, I think, the best host that has ever lived. Like Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest, whatever, they don't hold the candle to Yoo Jae-suk. Yoo Jae-suk is the best host. And if you ever watch like his stuff, you'll understand. He has a way of disarming his guests, becoming friendly with him, and it's to the point where every celebrity loves him. Every celebrity wants to be on his shows. He is the most respected man in Korea, and he's very low key about all the generous things he does. He almost never, and in fact, I believe he never mentions it. He regularly just like, I think there was one story where, again, he didn't even talk about it. Someone from the crew leaked it where I think it was like getting colder in Korea, like winter was about to come. It was like fall or autumn or something like that. And so they were shooting outdoors a lot. So he gifted the entire cast or the entire crew with like thick parka jackets. He regularly donates to charities, and he never talks about it. Like, he loans people money. He helps people out. He helps people out financially. He never talks about it, and you only hear these stories from other parties and people who have been helped out by him. And he's so not only is he a good host, he's an incredibly generous, good person, and he's the golden standard in Korea for what it means to be a really good person. And in fact, he's like, I think it's really hard to understand because there's not really someone like that in America, or I feel like the world, who is that beloved as Yoo Jae-suk is beloved in Korea. But he's so beloved that like even though people may bag on him for his looks, in like rankings and stuff like that, he's always in like the top 5 or top 10 for like most desirable man. Like when they like run polls among women, like he is like when it's among his Running Man castmates, he's always number one, even above all the good looking dudes. He is always voted as like the most desirable person that people want to be with, and even like nationwide polls as well. Yoo Jae-suk is always on top. So it's a very big deal. Now, with that said, in regards to why is an MC in this song, I don't know exactly what this was born from. I don't know if this was an ad or if this came out of a variety show, or I don't know what the deal is necessarily. But this is not the first time Yoo Jae-suk has done a music video or has done a song. He has done it multiple times. He never does it seriously, never does it because like, I'm going to be a musician. It's always in the context of a joke or in the context of doing a TV show or a challenge, especially his show that's no longer around, Muandojeon Infinity Challenge. He did that a lot. And his songs would go viral. There was like Apgujeong Nallari, there was I'm So Sexy. His songs go viral. His songs go viral because it's almost like very Lonely Island-esque, where his songs are incredibly funny, and at the same time, they're actually really good. And that's the biggest thing. He always makes sure and commits that the songs are really good. And Yoo Jae-suk, you know, he does a lot of ad-libbing stuff. Like if you listen to this, he that's incredibly cringy, but that's what he does a lot. But what actually I really appreciate is you don't get this a lot. Yoo Jae-suk vocals. Yoo Jae-suk does rapping a lot, like joke rapping a lot, and even that's pretty good. But his vocals are actually pretty solid. Like the 90s aesthetic where he doesn't have to push his vocals really work here. And then last but not least, there's Rain. I mean, I feel like people will be most familiar with Rain because out of everyone here, Rain has been the most active in music. Rain still makes music. He hasn't put out something new in a while. The last thing was Gang, which somehow has come back into vogue in the meme culture. Rain, probably the biggest male soloist of all time. So you could say that like him being in a video with Ihori is actually very fitting because she was the biggest female soloist and he's the biggest male soloist. At the height of his career, Rain was huge, unstoppable. Rain is actually a JYP artist. He was trained and raised by JYP. His debut song, It's Raining, was written by JYP himself, and it's one of those songs that was written specifically for Rain, and no other artist could do it. And he debuted with JYP, and eventually he did leave JYP to form his own company. But he's still close with JYP, like they have a good relationship and all of that. But Rain is an incredible dancer. He's an incredible performer. And in the same way that like Hyori was known as the queen of sex appeal, he was known as like the king of sex appeal. He takes off his top a lot. I'm surprised he didn't take off his clothes in this one. Oh wait, he did. Right, I was just about to say he did at the end. He's topless. Yeah, he takes off his clothes a lot. That's a very 90s look. Oh, look, there's actually like a her pre-debut, or like at least her early photos right here in the back. But so the way she sings here. So even his voice, he doesn't sing like this. He doesn't. Rain doesn't normally. He doesn't normally sing like this. It's a part of that '90s aesthetic, and these outfits, these basically the reflectors on it, like I believe these are like traffic outfits. The reflectors they were a big part of the '90s aesthetic. The giant ski goggles that he's wearing was a part of the 90s aesthetic. Even Rain's gloves is actually a reference to, I believe it was Cool, where they wore like giant fucking gloves, ski gloves. This is ridiculous. These outfits are ridiculous. And then, I feel like there's this outfit, that outfit that she's wearing. That's a little retro, but that could probably fit in the more modern scheme. And while Yu Jae-suk and Rain, their looks could be worn by probably young teenagers, adults dressed like this, very baggy sports clothes, jerseys, were a big part of the aesthetic back in the day. What else is there? Yeah, this. Oh, also, Yu Jae-suk's position as the rapper as well is actually a reference to the 90s aesthetic style. So, whenever there were these trios, there was a trio called Typhoon once. Whenever there are these trios, it's like there's a female vocalist and a male vocalist, and then a male rapper. And then the male rapper just usually does a lot of yelling. I would say that's very similar to like Kulture. Kulture did that a lot. And then this is, I don't know why this was shoved in, but in a different type of 90s video, like a 90s R&B video, this also fits that aesthetic. I think they just did this to just fully dive into it because they show off the sex appeal of Rain, they show off the sex appeal of Iori. So in general, both of them just like, I feel like PR wise is really good. Okay, that was interesting. So, and another thing I want to point out, I just realized, I don't know if I can find it. It might be this one. Yeah, this shot right here. So this shot is a shot you don't see nowadays anymore, but it was very prevalent in 90s music videos. It's basically just an overhead shot, an undershot of with a fisheye, and then just like people jumping, like literally. It's just these shots were also a callback to that 90s aesthetic. I mean, this video. It's weird. This one has like this mist on it, like it almost like they put a pro mist on it, but then this one doesn't. Like it looks like they were shot on different cameras, which is interesting, even though it's the same set. This one's a lot wider. Anyways, that is my reaction and review to 다시 여기 바닷가 by SSAK3. Let me know, what did you guys think? Let me know if you guys are familiar with any of the people here, if you understand the reference of this video, or if you don't, let me know what you thought. I would love to see both perspectives and reactions of people who do understand the charm and appeal of this video, and people who are just like, what is this? Because the video has a ton of views. It has 4.5 million views, and like their live stage has 3.4 million views. That's incredible. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, if you would like to support us, visit us at patreon.com/foreigntherapy. If not, leave a comment, hit subscribe, check out our other videos over here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.